Russia's invasion of Ukraine has caused the resolution of the conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan to drift away from Russia's attention. Azerbaijan is now entering its fourth week, blocking the only road connecting an Armenian community to the outside world. It's disrupting supplies of food and other basic necessities to the territory. This is not being talked about much, and that's why we're bringing the story to you. Here to break it all down for us is Hagar Chemali, host and creator of Oh My World on YouTube. Hagar, welcome back to the show. Can you explain what's happening between these two countries and what role the Russia-Ukraine war is playing into it?
Sure. Well, tensions between Azerbaijan and Armenia, and by the way, the community you're talking about, this is Nagorno Karabakh. It is an autonomous region within Azerbaijan's borders that is governed by ethnic Armenians that have been living there forever. And so tensions go back decades, if not longer than that. I'll try and sum it up quickly. But Stalin gave that autonomous area to Azerbaijan as a gift. Since then, tensions have been always high. They fought a deadly war in the 90s where the Armenians in this area won and declared independence, and then they fought another war in 2020. And that's important because that war ended with a Russia-mediated deal that put Russian peacekeepers in the area to protect the Armenian-controlled areas of Nagorno-Karabakh and that road that you talked about, that one road that connects Armenia to Nagorno-Karabakh. And the reason this war plays a role is because Azerbaijan pursued this blockade now because Russia's distracted by the Ukraine war. Their peacekeepers aren't doing anything probably because of friendship with Azerbaijan and because their government just doesn't want to deal with it.
Speaking of that, like I mentioned, not many people, news organizations are talking about this, but what is the U.S. saying about the situation? Do you expect the Biden administration to eventually intervene?
So the Biden administration, Congress, they've put out statements condemning this blockade, calling for an end to it, but they haven't threatened any diplomatic or economic consequences like sanctions. And history has shown that they kind of treat Azerbaijan with kid gloves, and they don't want Azerbaijan to behave this way. They support a peace process between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and certainly they don't want any offensive weaponry used against Armenians. But in the past, they haven't threatened any consequences for this kind of behavior.
Why does this matter to me and you and the average American?
I'm glad you asked that. It's aside from the fact that it's causing a humanitarian crisis, they are literally starving 120,000 ethnic Armenians who control this area. And the fact that it could reignite violence, and we don't want more violence to deal with or in this corner of the world. But the issue is that you have an example of a dictator, an authoritarian regime attacking a democratic neighbor. And you have an example of them weaponizing fuel and energy the way Russia is. They're taking a page out of Russia's playbook. And we don't want to see that replicate all over the world. And also, the U.S. provides hundreds of millions of dollars in security assistance to Azerbaijan's military. And although that's for different purposes, it's for counterterrorism and to secure the border with Iran. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that if you give a wealthy country like Azerbaijan security assistance, it's going to further fuel their military, and we shouldn't play a part in fueling this conflict.
Hagar, I've always said you have a knack of simplifying the most complicated stories, and we really appreciate you for that. Hagar Chemali, host and creator of Oh My World on YouTube. Make sure to check it out. It's incredible, fantastic.